Do you know this? 7 out of 10 people over 50 wake up around 3 a.m. every single night. But here's what's even more concerning. More than 60% of them can't fall back asleep, and they're unknowingly making 4 critical mistakes that I'm about to share with you right now. Hello, I'm Dr. Emily Carter, a sleep specialist with experience treating and consulting over 10,000 patients. And in today's video, I'm going to show you the 4 most common mistakes that are destroying your sleep at 3 a.m., along with the solutions to fix each one so you can fall back asleep quickly within minutes, instead of tossing and turning for hours. And especially at the end of this video, I'll reveal a simple technique that 85% of my patients have used successfully to fall back asleep even when they thought they were completely wide awake. If you want to improve your sleep quality, hit the subscribe button and notification bell below so you don't miss the next helpful videos from Golden Years Health. First, let me walk you through the first mistake that you might be making every night without even realizing it. Do you have this habit? You wake up in the middle of the night and the first thing you do is turn your head to look at the clock to see what time it is? Let me explain why looking at the clock is such a critical mistake. When you glance at that clock, your brain automatically starts calculating how much sleep time you have left. For example, you see 3:15 a.m. and immediately think, I only have 3 hours and 45 minutes left. That thought alone triggers anxiety. Here's what happens next. Anxiety increases cortisol, your stress hormone, which then increases your heart rate. And here's the key thing you need to understand. To fall asleep, your heart rate needs to be at or below 60 beats per minute. That's the state of deep relaxation your body needs to enter unconsciousness. But when you look at the clock and start worrying about time, your heart rate jumps up to 75 or even 85 beats per minute, making it increasingly difficult to fall back asleep. A study from the Journal of Clinical Sleep Medicine in 2019 showed that monitoring time when you wake up increases the risk of prolonged sleep challenges by 40%. Your brain creates a negative association. 3 a.m. equals panic time. And night after night, this pattern reinforces itself, creating a cycle that's hard to break. So here's what I want you to do. Turn your clock away from you or flip it face down. If you use your phone as an alarm, place it far from your bed with the screen facing down. Change your mindset from, I need to know what time it is, to, I just need to relax and rest. When you stop focusing on time, your brain stops creating pressure, and that's the first step to allowing your body to naturally return to sleep. But there's another mistake that's even worse than looking at the clock, and it's a habit that almost everyone is guilty of. Let's be honest here. How many of us, when we wake up at 3 a.m., reach for our phone to check messages, emails, or scroll through social media? Let me explain why your phone is the #1 sleep destroyer. The blue light from your phone screen suppresses melatonin production. Melatonin is the hormone that helps you sleep, and once it's suppressed by blue light, it takes 30 to 60 minutes for your brain to produce it again. That's 30 to 60 minutes of lost sleep time right there. But it's not just about the light. The content on your phone activates your brain in different ways. Work emails trigger stress. News articles create worry. Social media gives you a dopamine spike that makes your brain think it's time to be alert and engaged, not resting. Let me share a real example. I had a patient, Margaret, 67 years old, retired teacher. Every night, she would wake up at 2 or 3 a.m. and check Facebook, just scrolling through posts for what she thought was a few minutes. The result? She would lose another 2 to 3 hours before she could fall back asleep. After she stopped using her phone at night for 2 weeks, she was able to fall back asleep within 15 to 20 minutes. This creates a double impact. The light plus the content equals the perfect formula to destroy your sleep. Research from Harvard Medical School shows that just 10 minutes of phone light exposure can delay your sleep cycle by 1 to 2 hours. Here's your solution. Put your phone on Do Not Disturb mode starting at 9 p.m. Place it out of reach, perhaps on your desk or in another room. If you're worried about missing emergency calls, Set your phone to allow calls only from specific family members. Better yet, buy a traditional alarm clock instead of using your phone. When you remove your phone from your bedroom, you're taking back control of your sleep. And if you're finding this video helpful so far, please hit the like button so I know to keep sharing sleep knowledge like this with you. Now, let's talk about the third mistake, something that many people think they have to do. This is a subtle mistake that few people recognize. You wake up at 3 a.m., feel like maybe you need to use the bathroom, and you decide to go just to be safe. Sound familiar? Let me help you understand the difference between feeling like you might need to go and actually needing to go. Many older adults have anxiety about their bladder, so they use the bathroom preventively. The problem is that moving around dramatically increases your heart rate. Here's the physiological mechanism. Lying down, then sitting up, then standing, then walking equals changes in blood pressure and heart rate. Your resting heart rate while lying down is around 55 to 60 beats per minute. After getting up and walking to the bathroom, it jumps to 75 to 90 beats per minute. And it takes 15 to 30 minutes for your heart rate to return to baseline. Add to that the fact that you're turning on lights, and remember what we discussed earlier. Light suppresses melatonin. So movement plus light equals a double impact that makes falling back asleep twice as difficult. Now, here's an important clarification. I am not saying you should hold it if you really need to go to the bathroom. If your bladder is full, go right away, because holding it will cause discomfort and affect your sleep anyway. But if it's just, maybe I should go, try relaxing and taking deep breaths for 2 to 3 minutes first. Here are practical solutions you can implement. Reduce your water intake after 6 p.m. I'm not saying cut it out completely, just reduce it. Avoid diuretic drinks like coffee, tea, and alcohol after 4 p.m. If you must go to the bathroom, use a small nightlight with red or orange light instead of white or blue light. Move slowly and deliberately. Don't splash cold water on your face, as that stimulates your brain. Return to bed immediately without doing anything else. Let me share another example. I had a patient, Robert, 72 years old, who used to get up 3 to 4 times every night. After adjusting his fluid intake and using a red nightlight, he only needed to go once and could fall back asleep 50% faster. The goal isn't to completely avoid using the bathroom. The goal is to minimize its impact on your sleep. And now we come to the final mistake, which is also the most common one I see in my practice. Here's the biggest paradox about sleep. The harder you try to sleep, the harder it becomes to actually fall asleep. Why is that? Let me explain what we call performance anxiety around sleep. When you're lying there tossing and turning, thinking, I must fall asleep right now, your brain receives a stress signal. Stress increases cortisol, which triggers adrenaline release, which activates your sympathetic nervous system. That's your fight or flight mode. In this state, sleep is impossible. Many of my patients describe it like this. I feel exhausted, but my brain just won't shut off. A study from the Sleep Research Society found that people who worry about their sleep lose an average of 60 to 90 minutes of sleep time compared to those who don't have this pressure. Now let me introduce you to an important concept that few people know about, non-sleep deep rest, or NSDR. This is a state of deep rest without necessarily being asleep. All you need to do is lie still, breathe steadily, keep your heart rate low, and stay in a dark environment. Science proves that 1 hour of NSDR equals approximately 20 minutes of restorative sleep. This means even if you can't fall asleep, your body is still recovering and restoring itself. Let me give you 3 practical techniques you can use right now. First, the 4-7-8 breathing technique. Breathe in through your nose for a count of 4. Hold your breath for a count of 7. Breathe out through your mouth for a count of 8. Repeat this for 4 to 6 cycles. This technique activates your parasympathetic nervous system, which is your relaxation mode. Dr. Andrew Weil from Harvard calls this technique a natural tranquilizer. Second, the counting backward from 300 by threes technique. Start at 300, then 297, 294, 291, and so on. This requires your brain to focus on a simple, monotonous task, which prevents your mind from wandering. Most people fall asleep before they reach 200. Third, progressive muscle relaxation, or PMR. Start with your toes. Tense them for 5 seconds, then release. Move up to your calves, then thighs, then abdomen, chest, arms, shoulders, and face. This helps you recognize the difference between tension and relaxation. It's especially effective for older adults who have joint discomfort or muscle tension. Let me share a success story. Linda, 64 years old, a retired teacher, struggled with sleep challenges for 5 years. Every night she would wake up at 2 or 3 a.m. and toss and turn until 6 a.m. After learning the 4-7-8 technique and changing her mindset from "I must sleep" to "I just need to relax," she was able to fall back asleep within 10 to 15 minutes on 80% of nights. The secret isn't trying to force sleep. The secret is creating the conditions for sleep to naturally come to you. And if you've tried any of these techniques, please leave a comment below sharing your experience. I'd love to know which one works best for you. So now we've gone through all 4 critical mistakes and how to fix each one. Let me wrap this up for you. So in today's video, we've explored the 4 critical mistakes destroying your sleep at 3 a.m., looking at the clock, reaching for your phone, going to the bathroom unnecessarily, and trying too hard to fall asleep. And you now have specific solutions to fix each one. Remember, even applying just one of these solutions will make a clear difference. And in my next video, I'll guide you through a special bedtime routine to reset your brain and help you sleep deeply like a baby, even during stressful times. This routine has changed the lives of 90% of my patients. Don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications. If this video helped you, please like and share it with loved ones, because good sleep is the most wonderful gift we can give each other. Finally, tell me, what time do you usually wake up, and which mistake are you making? Leave a comment below. I read and respond to everyone. I'm Dr. Emily Carter from Golden Years Health, wishing you a good night's sleep and abundant energy tomorrow.